Hello, I am Jason and welcome to another episode of Historically Marked. This is one of those cemeteries with markers edition, and I'm in a very, very historical cemetery. It happens to be the second most visited cemetery in the United States of America, second only to Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. But I am in Springfield, Illinois at the northwest side, and lots of Illinois politicians are buried here, including Ninian Edwards, which is the namesake of my hometown, Edwardsville, Illinois. The 16th President of the United States is buried here, Abraham Lincoln, in a very large tomb that's 117 feet high. This cemetery goes all the way back to 1855, although some sources say 1860. But nonetheless, it is a very historic cemetery. It has been added to the National Register of Historic Places, and people from around the world come all the way to Springfield just to check this out, as well as other Lincoln-related historic sites. So come with me and I will show you around inside the cemetery. This is the main entrance, and keep in mind they do have those gates open for a limited time each day. Actually every day the gates are locked at 5:30, as the upcoming sign clearly says. Getting to Lincoln's tomb is very easy to get to from the main entrance. You'll see it right away as it is very huge. So there's the sign. There's also some Veterans War memorials that way. But this is the main destination, with all due respect to all the other people who are buried here. But over here is the final resting place of past governor of Illinois, John R. Tanner, who served his time from 1897 to 1901. This is a tribute to Abraham Lincoln. If you can't read it, I will read it to you. I cannot conceive how a man could look up into the heavens and say there is no God, by Abraham Lincoln. Dedicated to the memory of Herbert Wells Fay and son, Earl Owen Fay, custodians of Lincoln's tomb. Okay. And I tell you, this is so bizarre because the last time I was literally here was, let's see, what was the year? 1992. I was in 4th grade. We took a nearly day-long field trip to Springfield, and this was one of our stops. We went on the tour inside, and I got a picture of the tomb, and, you know, we were too young to understand Lincoln's legacy, but we learned a lot about him though in elementary school. And this is without a doubt a popular photo area, maybe video area in some ways. On the left side of the tomb is 3 historical markers. This talks about the temporary tombs, which we'll be visiting later in this video. And this talks about how the Lincoln tomb was built. And this here is what visitors usually rub. They rub his nose for good luck. I still don't know the whole meaning of that. Now at this time, nobody is recommended to do that because, yeah, for fear of germs, COVID-19, that kind of thing. And isn't this baby beautiful? A tomb. And I'm going to go a little closer. I will not be doing the tours today, unfortunately, because of time constraints, but I will go inside we'll go outside. And that is that plaque up there you see on top of the door. That is the Gettysburg Address, 407 years ago. And here is from 1964, the registered National Historical Landmark. This is so cool. Last year I visited George Washington's tomb at his Mount Vernon place, and a year later, Lincoln. Who should I do next year? So here are some historical markers across from here. This is the right side. As we all know, it is made of granite. Stands 117 feet high. Now this I did not know. It has gone through 2 reconstructions. And these are pretty much a timeline of Abraham Lincoln's family. And another place I visited last year was Ford's Theater, where, you know, and of course the house across the street, I can't think of the name of it, but where he actually passed away, and of course this is now where he rests. The Peterson House, that's the one I was thinking of. Now we're going to go into the back part of the tomb. And you get a nice view here, a lot of statues. There's no public admission up those steps, because I just saw the sign. Not these steps, but the ones on the side. And across from there is this one called the Temporary Vault. So for 6 years, Abraham Lincoln was buried in a temporary vault. And this was the temporary vault right here. There's actually a marker right here that says it was the first resting place of Abraham Lincoln. And I will go ahead and show that to you. Of course, I don't think anybody's allowed to go in, but you know, it's worth checking out anyways. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you this too. Wow, very interesting. I don't want to get too close to the cobwebs there, but get a look at the floor too. That is so 19th century. Now we're going to go to a different part of the cemetery, which I'll show you. This here is a marker. And it's kind of cool because the Sons of American Revolution, they put out several markers around Illinois, even where I live, around Glen Carbon, and also in Creel Springs, Illinois. But they put them in cemeteries where they highlight where Revolutionary War patriots are born. I'm sorry, buried. They even have small biographies on them. So it's definitely cool that somebody did a lot of research on this. Now we're going to go to the cemetery's original entrance. So coming right up. Now we are at the cemetery's original entrance, which is right around 3rd Street here in Springfield. I'm not sure what the name of that park is in front of me, but it's got some cool fountains. And there is a historical marker here. It also talks about the history of the cemetery. So I'll let you read that. So it said in 1899 the entrance to Oak Ridge was reoriented from the east to the south to take advantage of the newly paved Monument Avenue. And this entrance would be relegated to pedestrian traffic only. In 2014, this replica of the original archway and main gate were installed, officially reopening this entrance. Here's another shot of that. And in case you're wondering about this plaque, it just talks about the donors. Oop. That about scared the heck out of me. There is even a historical marker dedicated to the Lincoln Tomb Custodian's residence. So it pretty much looks the same as it did back in 1896. I wish I can zoom in closer to the marker. Well, as it says on the marker, this former resident now houses site offices. So yeah, pretty cool. Thanks so much for tuning in to Historically Marked. I am Jason. This is one of those cemeteries with markers editions, and I'm in a very special cemetery. In fact, the second most visited. I know I keep saying that, but this is me from Springfield, Illinois, the capital of the land of Lincoln, signing off.